I don't know if this really counts as like an onstage mishap, but boy was it stressful. I was also in band in high school, and band was actually a class at my school. And so you had it like blocked out in your schedule, and you would get a grade. And at the beginning of the school year, the band directors would give you a schedule of all of the concerts so that you knew what your obligations were. If you had any conflicts that you already knew of at the beginning of the year, you could tell them and you'd be excused from that concert. But other than that, like, you had to show up to every concert unless you were sick or there was some sort of emergency or whatever. Like, you were obligated to be at every concert. Like, you couldn't schedule like a vacation or a, routine doctor's appointment or whatever, anything along those lines. You couldn't have during any of the concerts because you were already aware of them happening. So there was a concert on the schedule that was scheduled for the same night as one of the plays at my school, but the band that I was in was not scheduled to play that concert. And so I figured, it's fine, I don't need to be at that concert, so I can audition for the play and not have to worry about it. So I auditioned and I made it in, and then a few weeks into rehearsal, the band directors are like, oh, by the way, your band wasn't originally scheduled to play at this concert, but now we want you guys to play at this concert. And so I immediately, after class, go up to the band directors and I say, hey, I auditioned for this play, and one of the performance nights is the same night as the concert, so I can't make it to that concert. And they said, that's not acceptable, you have to be at the band concert. And I said, that's not fair, because I was committed to the play before I was committed to the band concert. I realized that the concert was on the schedule, but I was not scheduled to be in that concert, so I shouldn't have had to schedule around it, which means I was committed to the play first. So I'm gonna do the play and I'm not gonna come to the concert. And they said, nope, that's not how this is gonna work. If you don't come to the concert, you're gonna lose a letter grade. They were gonna dock me a letter grade for not coming to a concert that I wasn't even originally scheduled to play at. That day at rehearsals, I immediately go to the director and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, and like, I wasn't scheduled to be in this concert, but now they want us to play in this concert, and I told them that I wasn't going to because I was committed to the play first, but now they're threatening to dock me a letter grade if I don't show up, and I don't know what to do. And the director is like, calm down, I'll talk to them, I'll try to talk some sense into them. And I was like, okay, thank you. The next day at rehearsals, he comes up to me and he's like, I had a conversation with the band directors, they're not budging on the issue, they still want you to come to the concert, but we've worked out a plan. Basically, they timed out the beginning of the play and the beginning of the band concert so that my band would be playing during intermission. I get off stage at the end of Act 1, quickly run to the dressing room, throw on my band uniform, grab my French horn, and sprint across to the other side of the school. I make it to where the band concert is happening. My band had like just sat down, and the director locks eyes with me and is like, get over here. I run over, I sit down, I'm like, hey guys, how's it going? Like, so stressed and exhausted. I play whatever, like the 2 pieces or whatever that we had prepared. We do that thing where you all stand up to let the audience applaud. Usually you'll stand there for like 10-15 seconds. But as soon as we stood up, the director looked over at me and he was like, okay, you're good, you can go now. So I'm like, thank you. And I grab all my stuff, run back to the other side of the school to get back to the theater. I'm like calling the assistant director, being like, I'm on my way back, you can start Act 2. I had a scene at the beginning of Act 2 before I was back on stage, and I run back, change back into my costume, get backstage like 2 minutes before I was supposed to go on. One of the most stressful experiences of my life.